this is you in disbelief over this PC. This PC is God tier for the money, guys. You're getting a top tier product from just a couple years ago for $640. Will it even be good? Well, let me just tell you that this $640 gaming PC is actually equal to a flagship of just a couple of generations ago, and it actually slaps really hard, and it's going to give you all the performance you need, especially at 1080p and even 1440p, guys. So I could have just said $600, but hey, I didn't want to be clickbait. I'm giving you the truth here. Gaming PC, why not just, sit back, relax, and drink some wine and chill out. So let me open this bad boy right quick, and we can get on with the show. But we're gonna start off with the case first, guys. This thing is $60, and this is the Sama 3509 tempered glass open door gaming case. It's a mid-tower. I've used this case many times, and it actually is amazing because it has 4 pre-installed ARGB fans that you can control on the case. So you just hit a button on the case and it changes the RGB colors of the fan, and there's a lot of different presets on there. There's static colors, there's rainbow, and all the things. And honestly, this case is super solid, and I really like it for flipping PCs because it even has vertical GPU mounting support at this low price range. I got this for $60 because when I bought it off Newegg, it gave me a $5 gift card back. So I'm gonna count that as 60 bucks, but hey, it's for 65 right now, which is honestly a great deal for this case. It feels pretty premium when you're building in it, and it looks great. So yeah, starting off with that case, really good choice there. I picked that up. CPU for $63, and what CPU are we rocking? We are rocking the Ryzen 5600. I don't know what you're thinking. Oh, it says 7570 right here. How in the world did you get this CPU for $63? Okay, and that's a good question. AliExpress has these insane, and I mean insane deals that they put on, and if you spend like $200, $300, which is really easy if you're buying a lot of the stuff off AliExpress, you can save like 40, 50 bucks off your whole order. And that's exactly what I did. I bought one of these, and then two Ryzen 3600s, and then also a few motherboards for those CPUs. And yeah, it saved me a little bit of money, but hey, just a little bit more at $75 for the CPU isn't bad. I wouldn't pick it up past 80 bucks. At that point, you should just get like a 12400, or maybe even you can get you could even start looking at like a Ryzen 5700X at that price range. But yeah, overall, this CPU is really good. And guys, the reason I chose this CPU is because I want it to be a good match for your GPU. Something that's really important to note is people I often see it for their gaming rigs, they overspend on their CPU, and that's really just a waste of money. You should buy whatever CPU does not bottleneck your GPU, and that's it. That's the only thing your CPU needs to do. It just needs to be fast enough to feed that GPU, and after you spend more money on that, on more cores or a faster speed, 3D cache, it doesn't really matter if your GPU is not really quick, okay? CPU cooler, $45, and this may be a little overkill, guys, but this has to be, I'm doing this for the aesthetics of the build. Right now, this is $49 on Amazon. I got it for $45, but the Thermalright Aqua Elite 240, it just gives the PC that pizzazz factor. It really does. It just gives it the awe, and I can advertise it has water cooling, and that helps it sell a lot better. If you're buying this PC for your personal use, you do not need this water cooler unless you're planning on upgrading to like a much higher core CPU, but I wouldn't even recommend that if you're trying to game. It's going to add latency. I would just stick with that air cooler that I showed you earlier. But this, it really pulls the build together. It makes it look a lot cooler. And if you're looking for aesthetics, the extra 30 bucks, it's about 30 bucks that this costs. It's kind of worth it. Now we have the motherboard at 76 bucks. Let's go on. And I had all of my parts ready before my motherboard. Usually I try to order the motherboard off AliExpress so I can get it in, because for whatever reason, if you ordered a motherboard off AliExpress, it takes like a really long time, like 2-3 weeks, and sometimes even a month. And I had all my parts in, I was ready to build this PC. So I said, I don't want to wait. And I found this B550, and I also wanted to get a PCIe Gen 4 motherboard, just because, you know, we're loading this up with Gen 4 storage and a Gen 4 graphics card. So I just wanted to fully take advantage of that and market it when I sold this. I haven't mentioned yet, but I did build this PC to flip it. That's what I do. I build PCs all the time and I flip them. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and let me know in the comments so I know, you know, I can do this more often, because I build PCs like every week. I built like 3 or 4 since the last PC upload I did. I just don't know if you guys really want to see it or not. So just let me know in the comments. I got this motherboard here and it says that it's for, you know, $79, but he gave me a discount, so I got it for a little bit cheaper. I got it for 76 bucks. And yeah, it's a really good motherboard, B550. It was in really good condition. And for 76 bucks, I got it in like a couple of days and I'm like, whatever. I just want to sell this PC, and I got it and it worked and it made me happy. Okay. Now we're looking at the RAM, $51. This Team T-Force Vulcan 32 gigabytes. So we're getting 32 gigabytes on this rig. 32 gigabytes if you're flipping PCs sells way better than 16 gigabytes, and it's only about like $20 more usually. This is a great deal. It goes at 3200 mega transfers per second, CL16. That's a good speed. It's solid. It will be just enough for our Ryzen 5600. And for $51, I like 32 gigabytes at that price. I picked it up every day of the week. Next up, we got storage, and this I kind of overpaid for at the point when I was building this PC, which was a little while ago. Everything was pretty low in price except for storage. Storage was kind of elevated, which has gone down since. I built this in July, or I might have bought it in July. I think I built it a couple months ago. But yeah, I wanted a Gen 4 NVMe, and this is Gen 4. Even though it doesn't really run at Gen 4 speeds, I'd probably pick up a different SSD than this one. I'd probably pick up the Crucial P41, I think what it's called. I'll have to drop it in the comments. But this isn't even available anymore, so I'll leave a link for that other Crucial drive that I recommend instead of this one. At the time, this was the lowest price Gen 4 I could find. I got it for like 58, 59 bucks. And hey, it does the job. It's Gen 4, and it ticked the box for me there, basically. That's really all I have to say about that. Next, the PSU. And this also was just kind of like a box to check. Some of you maybe give me a little bit of hate for this one, but for getting this for 50 bucks, it's, you know, 80 plus gold, 650 watt. It's non-modular. It's a Sigotep, I think I'm saying that right. Power supply, which I don't have a ton of experience with, but you know, it seems to work right. You know, the reviews are good, and I was willing to take a bargain on it, and it worked great. It did everything I needed it to do. No crashes, nothing like that. And yeah, for advertising, for me flipping a PC, 80 plus gold, 650 watt, this was a no-brainer at 50 bucks. I think it's a really good deal. If you want a little bit of future-proofing here, I noticed that they have, let me move out of the way, that they have a ATX 3.0 and PCIe 5.0 version. If you click on that, it looks like this, and it's only 75 bucks. So it's 75 bucks. You're getting the new power connector that everyone loves on your PSU, like natively. So I think that I would go with that instead for $75. That's actually pretty good value for a 750 watt ATX 3.0 power supply. Guys, you got to understand, a lot of the choices I make on these PCs is because of the marketing of the PCs, and people are willing to pay more for certain things that don't necessarily add performance. You have to consider that when I'm showing you this. Now, I think that you will appreciate this when you build your PC. If you have a PC that looks nice and feels good just in your room, like it has a good atmosphere to it, it's worth more money. Whether it performs better or not, it's worth more money. And I wanted to say that until we got into a little bit of the accessories, but you know, getting even any accessories at this price bracket is kind of insane. But next, we're gonna jump to the GPU, okay? Now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. This determines if our build is a win or a fail. And this GPU, I think, is a great GPU. I paid more for this GPU during the mining boom than the whole PC cost here. And that just gives you kind of a perspective of the value we're getting out of this PC. Now, this is the one thing that I bought in person off marketplace kind of use, so you might not all have access to this, but this is the GPU. I just have my post here, which, yeah, look how I post these PCs. Like I give them a video, I give them a picture of the PC, and then the inside, the IO, that's the Wi-Fi speed on here, and then the Ethernet speed, which is just blazing fast. And yeah, I give them that. I usually give them a time spy on here. I didn't, but I usually do that too. But this is the GPU we're getting. It's the 3060 Ti MSI Ventus, and I picked this up from a guy. He said that he used it in some home golf rig he had. Like he had like a golf simulator game, and this rendered that game for him in like a room. And he said he just needed to get rid of it. He was upgrading to a new graphics card. So I picked this up for $200 from him, and it works great. I mounted it vertically here just so it looked even better. And I'm noticing now that we used a liquid cooler and not that CPU cooler. So I have to go back and change that. Crap, that screws up this whole video. But yeah, so the 3060 Ti Ventus, I rocked this GPU for like a year and a half, and it worked really well. Sure, guys, I know it has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but it has DLSS too, and this GPU is actually going to work really well for most people, especially those just playing esports games. And you know, you can always just upgrade the GPU. We have a 650 watt power supply, and we also have a Gen 4 riser there for them. So they can always upgrade the GPU if they really need more VRAM. All the bones of this PC is in place, and for $200 I couldn't pass up the 3060 Ti, guys. I really couldn't. And whoever bought this from me, it seems to be very happy with this GPU, in my opinion. Next up, we have the riser cable, and you know, this is totally optional, but I got this for $16 off AliExpress. This is the PCIe Gen 4 version. You aren't going to need a Gen 4 riser cable if you go with a Gen 3 motherboard, but this is actually really cheap for a Gen 4 cable. And you know, it really ties the build together like we see right here. Having that GPU vertically mounted, I really like the way the Ventus RTX 3060 Ti looks. And I want to be able to see it. So we use this riser cable here, and for only 16 bucks, it was definitely worth pulling the build together. Another thing that people sleep on that is definitely worth it are these cable extensions. For only $13, we got these white cable extensions off AliExpress, and I mean, what else do I need to say? They really pull the build together here, especially like the motherboard portion and the graphics card portion. Like seeing actually neat cables that are clean and white really helps whoever you're trying to sell this to, or just yourself, convinced that this is a high quality product. You know, it doesn't look like it's just a mess. It doesn't look like something you would be ashamed of and you want to hide in a closet somewhere. It's something you want to display in front of everybody and just enjoy that you have a rig that is powerful enough to even require this amount of cables, right? Okay, so we started up here, $640 gaming PC. You were in disbelief of us being able to even do that. And now we've ended with all these components here, which, hey, I'll give you a link in the description to these components. Go ahead and pick them up and build this PC for yourself. If you're a console gamer, if you have an old PC, just upgrade to this and you're gonna be good for a little while, guys. But yeah, like I said, we started here, you're in disbelief, and we came down and I've showed you step by step what to buy, and we're going to actually be able to have this PC for pretty cheap, guys. Now we're gonna do this video a little bit different from my first one, and I'm actually gonna give you gaming benchmarks, just a few games to show you how this PC performs, and yeah, just enjoy the gaming benchmarks and revel in the fact that you got all this performance only for $640, guys.
Silicon Steak, the master of tech. Ever review every spec, he's on deck. From GPUs to CPUs, he knows it all. No question too big, no detail too small. He's got the knowledge, he's got the skill. When he drops his take, the haters stand still. Fanboys can cry, but they can't deny. Silicon Steak's truth cuts through the lie. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak, living the tech life. Never wrong, al Never wrong. tech with a genius appeal. You want the facts? Just listen close. Silicon Steak is the one who knows. Fanboys mind, but they know deep down. Silicon Steak wears the tech king's crown. His words are facts, they hold the weight. In the world of tech, he's the one to celebrate. Never wrong, always right. His opinions hit like dynamite. Tech wisdom sharp as a knife. Silicon Steak living the tech life.